Hi, my name is Angie Ward. This is my husband, Ryan, and we're both in commercial banking here in the Oklahoma City, Edmond area. We thought we'd tell you a little bit today about how we got into banking. I went to Oklahoma State University, and while I was there, I studied finance. And there was a commercial banking class that I took while at OSU that got me interested in learning more about banking. So I did an internship with OSU, and I was placed at a bank here in Oklahoma City. When I graduated, they then hired me, and I've been in banking ever since. So going to college, most of my time there, I had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. But I had an advisor that really encouraged me to look into the banking industry, primarily because it's a solid industry that's not going anywhere, unlike other maybe segments or sectors or industries that could be very volatile. Banking is pretty much going to always exist, and so plus there's a lot of opportunities in banking. So anyway, he piqued my interest, and once I did my internship, I fell in love with banking.
Hi, my name is Ryan Ward. I'm a commercial loan officer at RCB Bank, and I got into banking through a family friend that referred me over to a local bank here in town, and I started in their credit files department, which is just filing loan documents and financial documents for their various commercial clients. It was a pretty entry-level job, but it was an entry into banking, which eventually led me into an internship with another bank, working for their senior vice president of commercial lending, which then in turn, as soon as I graduated, led into getting accepted into the management rotation program at a bank in Kansas City, which I spent 18 months nearly in Kansas City learning about commercial banking, and then came back and have been a lender for almost 10 years now.
I think the important thing about banking, or the great thing about banking, is that numerous different personality types, numerous different interests can all find a place in a bank. So for example, you might be a little more introverted, and maybe you're just very technology savvy and you just kind of want to be behind a computer doing that. There's a job for you at a bank. Maybe you're more people oriented, you want to be on the sales side, really working with customers, there's a place for you there. You're more creative and you want to be more website, marketing, there's a place for you there. There's so many different career paths within banking, so really it could fit any type of personality and interest. And so for me, it was one, a solid industry that was always going to be there. There was an opportunity to make good money once I grew up the corporate ladder, but also it fit my personality in that I wanted to work with customers, be around people, kind of be out and about in the community, and that kind of fit more my style and my comfort level and my personality. So it was kind of a win-win-win within banking.
Yeah, for me, I went to college at first to get an accounting degree and eventually get my CPA and work for my grandfather, who's a tax accountant. And after the first year of taking upper level tax classes at UCO, I quickly determined that I didn't want to sit behind a desk and crunch numbers. I like to interact with people, and banking kind of gives you that opportunity to work on the number side and have, if you have a lot of interest in analyzing financial statements, or you like numbers, creating spreadsheets, that kind of stuff, it gives you that opportunity, but it also gives you the opportunity to interact with your customers and clients of the bank, and kind of have a little bit of a work balance, so you're not sitting behind a desk all day.
Yeah, at the same time though, if you do just want to sit behind a desk and limit or minimize the people interaction, there's numerous career paths and jobs for that personality type as well. And I think that, depending on whether your next step is college or you're ready to just get your feet wet and jump right into a job, both can get you into banking. There's a handful of entry-level positions. I think the teller would be probably the most most common, or the one that most people would probably be more familiar with. Teller would be a great entry level. As Ryan mentioned, his position, kind of filing documents and working in it for the bank when he started out, is a good entry level. So those do exist, but there's also positions that would require a college degree as well. So it kind of, I think it could fit both people depending on what their entry level preference is. You can't be afraid of numbers. I wouldn't even say call it necessarily money. Well, first of all, who doesn't like money? So I think anybody would probably say they like money. But I don't think it's money necessarily as much as it is just you're comfortable working with numbers. Because Ryan and I, in our position, I never touch the cash at the bank. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting there handing out cash to my clients. So I don't ever really deal with cash or money. I'm dealing with numbers. We both work with businesses. I help them with their numbers. And so you do have to have a comfort level with numbers, but you don't necessarily, depending on the career path, it's not something that you have to be a whiz at necessarily. Depending on the career path that you're looking at, you could, more maybe people or relational skills might be more what the skill set would be. Well, I wouldn't even really call it math. I mean, so math gets you into the college level courses that you need. Once you start actually studying accounting or finance, it's going beyond math. It's going beyond formulas. Some of that base level knowledge is helpful because what math can also teach you is strategic thinking, how to solve a problem. And so then you take that, and once you get into college or even just study on your own, accounting, finance, you start looking at financials, a business's financials, and a personal family's financials, and you then have to understand what you're looking at. And it may not always be necessarily a math formula, but what math, geometry, trig, algebra 2, what all of those can teach you is how to problem solve. So you may never use X equals Y plus whatever again, but what it taught you is how to problem solve. So then when you get into your career and you're looking at financials, or you're looking at these spreads of numbers or these credit memos or whatever, analysis statements, it can kind of help you use that foundation to now you can problem solve and try to help a business, in our case, problem solve and bring solutions to the table to help their business grow.